This is the best looking car to ever come out of Japan, and you cannot change my mind. We picked this one up a few years ago in Japan and road tripped it across the country, driving some incredible tracks and roads, and even met some of the people who worked on rotary cars at Mazda back in the 90s.
MX-5 is happy, RX-7 scared. Yes? Okay.
Rotaries do have a reputation of being a bit unreliable, and even ours with its low odometer reading was also suffering from 2 decades of 13B turbo heat, which it seemed had cooked some of the control systems inside the engine bay. It still got us where we needed to go, but it did seem like it was a little bit down on power. The car made its way to the port under its own power, and eventually we got it back home to Sydney. When we got it home, we put it on the dyno and we quickly worked out that we weren't making boost on that secondary turbo. That power figure is well down on what they came with from the factory, so we had to do something about it. This well-known rotary expert happened to be in the country, so I hit him up for some advice and soon worked out that the solution was to remove some complexity and single turbo swap this thing. We went back to the dyno and it worked way better, making healthy power, but it still wasn't perfect. Back to Super Garage it went and I rerouted the fuel system and fixed a few leaks. Now it's time to go back to the dyno and lock in that tune and give this thing the power it deserves to match its amazing aesthetics.
The FD is back, everybody. It's on the dyno, this time on a hub dyno. I've come back down to race only, which is Omar's shop, Fred's here as well, and also Jem's over there, the wiring guy. Basically to do that last 5%. So the car's been running, it drove here. I had the laptop open the whole time just to keep an eye on things, and everything was looking pretty good. But what happened is when we dynoed it last time, there was some issues that we couldn't quite work out what was going on. It was something to do with fuel, or so we thought, but actually I think it might have been to do with that electronic throttle, and there was like a tiny misalignment and a bolt that was loose, just small stuff like that I think had messed with us. On the dyno, suddenly the numbers start doing weird things, and it could be one of any million different things. Since then I had a close look at it, figured it out, spent some time on the hoist, but I thought I'd come back down here today, stick it on these guys' dyno, because these guys do RX-7s flat out all the time, and get Omar to have a look at it, check it over. We might even smoke test it to make sure there's no leaks. Another small issue was fuel level and fuel sender light, potentially just backwards, so I didn't have fuel level. There's a bunch of JDM boxes and wires and stuff dangling around in the footwell that we have no idea what it does, so that can probably go in the bin as well. Basically just the last 5%, get it working perfectly so this thing can hit the road and be in full rotary excellence. So here's the plan while the car's getting set up on the dyno. Me and Omar are actually going to smoke test it. Now, I've never smoke tested a car before. We've used boost leak testers and stuff way back in the day to find leaks. I saw a couple of Omar's videos where someone had a similar setup on a car and they just were chasing problems with it constantly on the dyno, wouldn't make boost, just carrying on. And a simple smoke test identified that there was an O-ring missing. Now, the problem I think I had was also with a leak up on here on all these adapters, because I've got a Bosch adapter with a Dorito adapter to the manifold, then a Plasmine clamp, a lot of different O-rings and things going on, which means there is opportunities for problems. So a smoke test is a good way. As you can see, you just put that in the front of the intake and we pump smoke up through there, and if you see any little leaks, it gives you a good idea of where it could be leaking. So fingers crossed there's no leaks at all, but this will show us for sure.
So once we set up the smoke tester, obviously the natural thing is to look for smoke. Yeah. The machine actually has a gauge on it that will tell you how much resistance it has trying to push the smoke in.
Yeah.
So if we see no number, if it just says full, then there's a good chance the engine doesn't seal very well or it has a leak.
Okay.
If we see a number, that's usually an excellent sign. It means that we got a good system. So
okay.
We'll hook it up to the battery and we'll see what she says.
Sweet.
I'll just get the hose in sight so I can see it. We'll turn the machine on. I'll just wait for some smoke to come out, just so I know that it's at least working. Because if it runs out of smoke, you don't really know.
Yeah.
So we'll just wait. But there you go, you can see. Not sure if you can see that or not.
Omar, I feel like we're at a Subaru meet. Everyone's vaping.
Oh dear. So now we're filling it up. It says full at the moment, but it's still early.
So it's going through the turbo, through here, filling the cooler, and then throttle bottle being shut,
it will still creep through.
It'll creep through.
It will still
so
creep through.
So you could even see intake manifold leaks possibly.
It should theoretically come out the exhaust.
Really?
Yes.
So it goes through the whole engine?
Yes, most definitely.
All right.
It does take some time to do it, but that's what it should do.
So Omar, if it's going to leak, what have you seen happen in other cars at this point? Does it just start wafting up?
You'll just see the smoke starting to drift really slowly. Usually if you get a car that has no leaks and I'm suspect thinking, surely it has to have a leak, I'll just pull one of these hoses off. And
there you go.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. So that's going to be your first leak.
Look at that. Look at it. There you go.
Now, if you have a really big leak and there's a lot of smoke, there's a mode on the machine that you can slow it down.
Yeah.
So you can really pinpoint where the leak is.
Yep.
But when it leaks from a clamp like that, either the O-ring is pinched or it's not sitting straight.
Yeah, and you know what? Looking at it, I don't reckon it is straight. Because this cooler pipe's a bit tricky because it's all the way down there.
It's a long pipe.
And it's on a bit of silicon.
So I've just slowed that down, but I'll speed it up again just because it's hard to see. But it's like that's a very substantial
Dude,
leak.
that is totally worthwhile doing, isn't it?
That'll be like 4 pounds of boost.
Really?
Yeah.
Or will that be crappy returning to idle type stuff as well?
On that side, not usually. But if you guys had the loose bolts, that would have definitely done that because that changes all the idle control stuff.
Yeah, because I think it was loose here.
Yeah.
Which means that's post.
That would have definitely screwed up all the transient and idle for sure.
Which is how it was driving before. So I've since tightened all that, but this is good to know. So we need to read.
So we'll have to go at that. But there's also, I don't know if I'm seeing it, but I think we got something from here too.
Mate, you're going to be careful. You're going to have all my cars here.
There's definitely something there.
Yeah, it's not as, but this is like a fix this first up deal.
We got it. So you got it with smokes. When you got say you got more than one.
Yeah.
We got to do the bigger one first.
Yes.
Because otherwise it becomes too hard to try and figure out what it is.
Sure.
Don't want to pull it apart more than once if you don't have to. So,
and that is, you are leaking power.
100%.
Because the boost is just going out this way.
Looking at the size of that leak, that is 5 pounds of boost.
No way.
That is a big leak.
Man, I'm so glad we hooked it up. Let's have a look. Cool, so that's Allen key to fix it.
I made that pipe so there's no one to blame but myself. This is how you learn though, and so I'll be double and triple checking my work next time I use a clamp rather than a silicon joiner. It has proved to me though how useful a smoke machine is for detecting leaks like this.
So what's happening is, we've got 2 O-rings here. One there, and then they need to tuck inside this red band perfectly, and that's what it seals on. But the problem is if this angle's not exactly right, then it will not seal properly. Now it's sitting on there pretty nicely, but
I feel like the pipe hasn't tucked in all the way.
Yeah, it's also the angles, because it's got a silicon on the other end, it's quite a long pipe, and let's be honest, it's probably because I fabricated the pipe is why this is happening. But also when you weld this stuff, it moves around. So you can tack it all up and it's perfect, then you go and weld it, and even the slightest 1 or 2 degrees of movement down here can completely mess it up here. I'm sure there's lots of ways to prevent that, but I don't know what they are.
The good thing about having a silicon joiner on the intercooler end is that we can manipulate the pipe, move it around and readjust everything to get it to sit in the right place.
Omar's gone to get me some Vaseline, but that's not just because I'm excited about my rotary actually working. It's to lube up these O-rings here. It looks like that's actually fixed it. So what we did is we loosened up the cooler pipe on the top of the cooler, moved it that way, which may have been where I originally put it when I fabbed it, but then when I put it actually together, I didn't put it in the same spot. So that now appears to be lining up much better. There's like a 1 mil gap at the bottom, but this does have a bit of allowance for movement. That's the whole point of these clamps. So fingers crossed that will know. But the good thing is, because we've got the smoke machine, we can actually test and we'll know. We're not just guessing. So good news is the clamp on here has been fixed. It was only just out by the tiniest bit, maybe 1 or 2 mil. That was enough to get a humongous leak through. The clamp now has gone down really, really nicely. But as you can see, we're not out of the woods yet. There is another leak coming from somewhere. So we'll have to chase that one down. So one more that I missed, there's actually a tiny vacuum port there that's used for the factory fuel pressure regulator. I'm not using it because we've got an aftermarket GFB one down there, but Omar was saying that one often does get missed as well because you can't see it. It's really, really hard to see. I went through and actually, with Omar last time he was at the shed, went through and marked off what every single one does, but once it's back on, kind of hard to get to. So another one for me. Maybe we should start tallying all my mistakes, or not.
All that's required for this one is a small silicon cap or a bit of silicon hose with a bolt in the end of it. It just would have been way easier to do this when the manifold was off. But again, here I am learning rotaries.
we're smoking it up one last time. We have plugged that little vacuum line, which was very difficult to do with a hot engine, but it's done. And so now, if we see no smoke, we're ready to dyno.
There is one more tiny leak from the back of the throttle body. Omar says it probably won't matter, but while I'm here, I'm going to make up a small plate, stick some silicone on it, and that should block it up properly. Because there's only one place that smoke's meant to come out of in a rotary, and that's the exhaust.
Alright, a bit of schmoo on that, should be right. If Fab Guy ever quits, man, I can do some ugly fab for you. Customers will be like, what's this shit? And you'll be like, don't worry about it, it works.
The plate is on, the leaks are blocked, and now it's time to get onto the dyno.
Yep, fire her up, mate, let's do this. I want to publicly apologise to Scott Tuning Fork Hilsinger for taking him a car with leaks, because he would have had to fight that, and I feel bad. So sorry, Scotty. He's on some mad like caravan trip up in the north of Queensland, so he's winning. We're in a hot dyno, but he's having a good time. But sorry, Scotty, officially. But yeah, the map should still be hopefully most of the way there, which means Omar can just tweak it and work some of his rotary magic fingers.
So usually when I first jump in, I always set up just my engine protection stuff, just so that if something's wrong, it catches it before I see it. Because usually by the time I've seen it, it's usually too late with a rotary anyways.
So you're doing rev limit, ignition limit?
Yeah, so it'll be ignition cut for fuel pressure, oil pressure, stuff like that, just so that it protects me. Like more than anything, it just makes sure that I get a second chance to correct it. Like if we do a run now and the fuel pressure drops off, it won't go lean, it'll just shut off.
Yeah, cool.
So it's just, like, for me, it just makes me feel more comfortable and I don't feel nervous. Because, you know, with dyno, there's a lot of anxiety with things going wrong. So
Totally.
It's just,
Yeah.
try and use all the stuff that we got, like Haltech make it really nice in that respect.
Yeah.
Might as well use it.
I feel that way as the person who put the car together. I can't imagine as the person actually in charge of the keyboard, it's even more so.
It is, it's very
I
nerve-wracking.
always feel nervy on dyno days. But also excited because it's cool. When it works, man, the first drive after a dyno is one of the best.
I agree. All right, so we got fuel pressure on and we'll, I'll just bump this pump and see where we're at. Cool. All right, so we'll set that probably like 35. So that way, at least if the base pressure drops to 35 or lower, it'll just cut off and we can investigate and figure out what's going on.
Easy.
And then let's check out that one. Let's give that one a whirl.
And this is where it pays to have your oil pressure and your
100%. This is why you have the sensors. I mean, this is why you have Haltech. Like we get so many cars with power FCs, and they were the go-to ECU for this car, but they just don't have engine protection.
Yeah.
And seeing how sensitive these engines are, it's the engine that needs it the most, honestly.
Yeah.
So that's my take on it. Usually with oil pressure, I have it so that it's always on, because I mean, if there's no oil pressure, I prefer the engine not be on, usually anyways. But,
so it'll turn the engine off?
Usually it'll turn the engine off.
Oh, okay.
So if for whatever reason, like some guys don't want that, some guys want the car to still run because...
Race car may be on the track and you don't want to just die.
So then you maybe just power limit them in that sense.
Yeah, okay.
But usually for road guys, I mean, engine rebuilds are expensive. It can be like a $15,000 job if you run out of oil.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes better just to break down than to pay the 15K sort of deal.
Got it. Do you always check the e-throttle? Every time, or you just?
I don't usually check it every time. If it's already calibrated, I don't have to do it. And Haltech has a pretty smart system of checking whether it's working properly or not.
And you can see your amount of TPS on there. Anyway.
Most definitely. The only thing I will check is just how quickly it opens and closes. Sometimes those numbers are a bit aggressive and it makes the car a bit hard to drive.
Yes, I agree.
So
is that to do with the mapping of the pedal? Or do you change the mapping of the
No,
blade?
So we actually changed, so Haltech have this setting where you get to change how quickly the throttle body tries to open to meet your target.
Oh, okay.
And I tend to find that those numbers out of the box are really aggressive, and just sometimes slowing them down just makes the car feel
that's a good tip.
gentle.
Yeah, I have noticed that on some cars, but also, you've got the mapping for the actual pedal.
Yes.
And you can put a bit of an S-curve into it.
Most definitely. And I think Haltech actually do that out of the box.
Oh, cool.
I tend to find it works pretty well. So let's do that.
I guess this is why they have a dyno.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, one thing with this particular ECU is lots of things just work out of the box. Like
Saves you time.
Honestly, like whenever you work with an ECU where they haven't done all that groundwork, like we spend hours doing idle. Like
Right,
it's just
yeah.
the most basic of things.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas, you plug one of these guys in, you turn on the key and pretty much everything just works.
Strategies in the background that's making it meet targets and things
Most
like
definitely.
that. That's always what I notice Scott gets the most excited about. He'll show me like what he's going for, what he's getting and the difference. And
Yep.
just a couple of percent he's like, this is mad. Because
Yep.
it means all the background processing is doing its thing, right?
Most definitely. I am happy thus far.
It also drove here.
Yeah, exactly.
It drove here, so there's that, which means
So that's
fingers crossed that any
hopefully
problems have
plus.
not been too major.
All right, so we got a boost cut. I might just...
But the biggest change as well, aside obviously from leaks, is the way that the fuel
System
pressure
was plugged,
regulator.
yep.
So it might have some minor changes
Yep.
with fueling. I don't know how much.
So you noticed it would have tried to idle a bit lower to begin with, and that's
Yes.
because we fixed that vacuum leak.
Ah, okay.
So-
but already you can. It's
Yeah,
doing
so
some
the
background
ECU's
stuff,
already
right?
trying to work itself out. So we'll probably just go in there and so you can already see
We're in aircon state though,
where
aren't we,
it's
as well?
idling at. It wants more numbers, so we'll give it some numbers. All right.
It's pretty good idle considering we just fixed some
Honestly,
fairly
it
major
actually
leaks.
it actually is. All right, cool. So
It does do that sometimes.
that's what it sounds like when it's lean at idle, and I'd say with all the leaks we fixed, that probably makes sense. So you just watch the wideband; it just runs away. So obviously, because when you first start, it'll be rich, and then it'll kind
Yeah.
of dance away. Right, so we got some good timing going at idle. I reckon this needs to be a little bit more generous. Rotaries like to generally idle a little bit richer than most engines, so
Does it make them come on nicer when you start to get on the throttle?
it does, yeah.
And you're using no fuel down there anyway.
Yeah.
Honestly, does anyone tune a rotary and go, fuel economy? I know you get it if you do it right, but I'm not really sitting here thinking about it,
Look,
are you?
it's because even when you go for it and you get it as good as it can be, it's still a rotary.
Yeah.
It's still just gonna love a ton of fuel. Alright, cool. And we're technically still in the cold start map as well.
Yeah,
So I always like to get things nice and warm so that everything kind of settles.
of course.
And that way you're not making changes without some sort of good founding. This has got Haltech IGN 1A coils, I presume?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Alright, so...
LS coils essentially.
Yep. So what we're going to do, I'm going to give them some more juice.
More charge time?
Ah, yes, for sure. So usually, I've always had this thing. There's a couple of ways you can skin this, but I've always liked to run like a lower charge time when you're idling and cruising, but then under boost you really ramp it up.
Oh, okay.
So it just helps it burn the mixture under boost. So we'll bump this up to like the outer coils are quite strong. Like on that purple car there, for example, that'll go up to like 7 under boost and
Right.
then kind of drop away with RPM. So
Making what, 800?
that makes 750 horsepower, that one. So we don't have to go too hard on this.
We need half that.
We've already saved a copy of this map.
You
I'm
do
just
whatever
gonna
you
try
want.
something here.
Mate, you do whatever you want.
I think I'm gonna have a go at a slightly different ignition map. So yeah, like I'm going to a map now. I'm just gonna grab the base table.
That is such a big time saver. If you've got a car with the same turbo, same engine, same,
Yep.
you've already done the homework, haven't you?
Yeah.
Congratulations, you just saved yourself hours of making a new table from
Yeah.
scratch.
So see, it's just
That's cool.
I've always found a rotary engine like they actually love ignition timing, but obviously under boost you gotta
pull it
away. But yeah, so we still got a bit of fueling stuff there.
Yeah.
But just coming off the light throttle, it comes up pretty quickly.
Nice.
So, all right. So one thing. So I just got to make sure under boost we're not that different to where we were before. I'll probably take.
The timing drops right off when we get up there.
Yeah. So you can see as we come on boost, it
Yep.
just quickly runs away.
And you've
that's the
mapped that
idea.
for like 30 PSI, which we'll never get near.
Right, yeah. So again, because I try to use the same formula over and over, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
between cars, you kind of have it all in there. And you never know, if it over boosts, at least it's there to know that it can have, because the boost cuts will always take time. Everything takes time to happen. So if you have a bit of an extra layer of failsafe, it can't really hurt.
For sure.
What we might do is we might put it under some load, just see what those fuel numbers look like in those areas.
Battery is up at 14.
Yeah, so that's definitely come up.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's
Because you
definitely
don't
come
want to
up.
see it just keep dropping off.
Yeah, that's definitely come up. So let's just have a look at these guys. So this is the setting that decides how quickly the throttle body
Yep.
tries to meet a target. That's pretty high. Usually on most cars it'll be like 400, and even that's still pretty high.
Yep.
Close rate you always have pretty high because
You want it to snap shut.
100%. Right.
And you know what? In early drive-by-wire factory cars, that's what they used to do to save engine mounts and for fuel economy and to make it smooth.
Yeah.
But that's what made them feel like
It
rubbish,
does.
I reckon, right?
I agree.
Because you come off the throttle and the car keeps going.
Yep. No, I agree.
It's interesting, a lot of the work in making a car nice to own is now.
Yeah.
Because when you're up and it's all going and it's fun,
Yeah.
but actually living with it, this is what you want.
I agree. It's quite interesting how the idle changes a little.
Well, hopefully we don't have any more leaks.
That's really interesting.
Unless it was tuned around the rubbish before.
Yeah. I think obviously because stuff has changed, it's doing a bit of that. So.
Is any learning that's turned on currently?
So you know what? There is actually the long-term trim. Normally whenever I'm tuning, I usually have the long-term trims off.
Off, you do, okay.
Yes. So short-term trim I'll leave on, but long-term trim I only turn on after we're done.
Sure.
We might do that because that may be changing the game while we're trying to follow it, if that makes sense.
And also, if it's had leaking problems, it might have been trying to bury a hole in the map. I've had them go to like minus 25 sometimes when it's been really wrong.
All right, so let's. All right, you know what? I'll do this while the top is going to ask me to reset, anyways. So I'm going to do this guy. And just remember, we got everything saved, so if ever we decide to bring it back in, we can. So pop this guy and this guy. Let's see where we end up. And what's our max on this? Right, so I'm going to do. So again, with these numbers, what you do on a dyno will always be different to what you do on a road, at least for me, right? So on boost, I'll always have it so that it can add a bunch of fuel. But on cruise, I don't usually let it add or subtract a bunch of fuel because I want to try and chase it in the table.
Right.
If that makes sense?
Yeah.
But once the car's ready to go, then you add it back in so that it can adapt to whatever scenario you have.
Sure.
That way, you don't miss things as a tuner because with all the trims doing what it's doing, everything looks great, but you don't know, like you have to constantly look at those values to make sure it's you doing the work and not the ECU.
Got it.
Okay, so clutch in again. Alright, so the other thing we're going to do is this guy here. Let's go 10. Cool. So that should hopefully make it a bit peppier on the startup. And yeah, alright, so let's just do some load stuff and just see what it looks like.
Yep.
Alright. So this is probably different to what you're used to in terms of dyno.
It's hub, right?
This is hub and it's dyno dynamics.
And you've got a roller,
I've got a roller as well. Yeah.
You
so
like the hub one though?
I like the hub.
You do.
It's so repeatable.
Right.
Like, it's like I can put a car on that makes say 700 horsepower and then 6 months down the track put it on and to do it again.
Right.
Whereas with the roller, I always found it would change.
Tires change,
depending on how it's strapped and stuff like that. And you just don't know, like, has the car lost horsepower or did you just not strap it properly?
Yeah, right.
Right, so...
So the hub has its place.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Smooth too, isn't it?
Actually isn't. It's actually not as smooth as a roller.
Because you're bouncing?
Yeah. So the roller is like butter smooth.
Yeah.
Like we can feel all the, like all the axle movement, stuff like that. Sometimes I got to change gear because some gears are really vibrating. So I'm going to focus on the low RPM stuff to begin with because that's where all the like transient stuff is. I reckon the rest of it will be pretty good.
Okay.
I don't think our problem will be that. I think it'll just be the low RPM.
Sure. One other major issue that I had with this was we use the front mount. I know you like V mounts.
Yeah,
your experience,
of course.
That's what you've always used. Being my first time, I'll just use whatever and cross my fingers. Not that I don't trust you. Anyway, so put the front mount on, and what I noticed was coming home from the dyno, it would get quite warm.
Really?
But only at speed. So I'm like, there's an airflow issue here with coolant temperature. And so as soon as we got back to the shed, I put the under tray on and went around the block. Temperature problems went away. But what we've spoken about is if you're doing lots and lots of track work, you probably need more cooling than what you're going to get with a front mount, unless you do more work to make it, get the air through it.
I think so. I would agree with that assessment.
So in my head, front mount, fine for street, whatever. If you're going to build a track car, you probably need to look at other ways to get your air in, whether that's V-mount or a whole bunch of like aerodynamic science.
I concur on that one.
So under tray, big deal. On a lot of cars, I don't put them back,
surprised.
particularly on Subarus, because they've got the headers at the bottom and they'll melt the tray. But with this, it's all day, absolutely required.
Yeah. I was quite surprised that you had that much difference. Like,
Huge.
I've always known it made a difference, but not that much.
Yeah, so now it sits mid-90s and it doesn't go higher, but without the tray it was going over 100
Yeah,
and
okay.
stopping.
Yeah.
I would have to coast it down the highway.
Oh,
Let
really?
it come down and then, yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
not fun.
So like you can see the O2 trim is now like limited at 5, and it's actually pretty good. Like
It's
you can
close.
see, it's like it's not too bad.
This might actually drive really nice when we're out of here.
Yeah, let's hope so.
There goes the whistle.
Yeah.
Love hearing that.
So we'll keep an eye on temps because as you can see, as we're loading
Yeah,
up,
well, on the highway it didn't go over like 95, 96 at all. It capped out there, but of course,
yeah,
gotta
we
keep an eye
haven't
on
got
it.
much airflow. We got the dyno fan, but that's it.
Because this is simulating highway, right?
So we're simulating like cruise speed. It'll be 5th gear highway, I reckon.
Yeah, sure. That's exactly what I saw on the road.
So I think, you know, when you have leaks and stuff like that, you'll tend to find under boost it won't change too much.
Yeah.
Higher RPM it won't change much, but that low RPM stuff is where it all
Goes wrong.
Yeah, it's really sensitive in that area. All right, let's try that area now. Yeah, that's pretty close. Okay, I like that. I think we're in a good spot. Let's just check the upper ones a little bit. Keep an eye on those temps. They look pretty good so far.
Yeah, as long as it hovers around that, right? You just don't want big changes. It is shedding the heat, just not as efficiently as it could.
Correct, yeah. Probably take a bit more out of there. But that's, like, as you can see, as we get higher in RPM, we have less of a gap, if that makes sense.
Right, good.
So I think you're on the money in that respect.
Great. And then it's a matter of a couple of pulls and checking boost
I
controls
think
working.
what we might do before we chase the cruise, like at least like the throttle response is much better
sounds
now.
better.
I think before we chase the cruise too much, we'll do a pull, and that way if there's any issues that arise,
We'll know about
we
it.
don't kind of waste our time doing the cruise and have to do it again.
Silicon's popping off or whatever.
Exactly. All right, so I just want
Rotors being ejected from their housings.
let's not
In which
say
case, you just shut the roller door and walk away.
that. Oh, let's not say that. No. So with this dyno, you don't have to press anything. You just run it up to speed.
Cool.
Hold it flat, and it'll do
It
the
knows.
rest.
Great. All right, run number 1. Let's see what she does.
Yeah, that's it. Let's go.
Might need these.
Yeah. But,
You seem quite happy to stay into that.
yeah, the mixture's rich off the chart.
Wow.
So
Vibrates a lot, normal?
that's normal.
That's normal,
That-
okay,
So
cool.
that's hub dyno.
Good, because I'm like, that's broken tail
Nah,
shaft.
that's hub dyno. Yeah, no.
Ask me how I know. That did happen on an RX-7. What, ready? Bang!
Holy moly!
I know.
There you go. That's what happened when one did let go.
Yeah, right. Okay,
Yeah, I had to
so-
clean their dyno. That was not fun.
Yeah. All right, let's pop open this log. Oh, I was pretty happy with that. I mean,
It's happy
ref
to accelerate,
clean.
isn't it?
Yeah, it sounded good. What did it make the last time you guys had it?
200 and
I mean,
something.
that was 343. So
I'm normally thinking kilowatts, so I'm never sure when it's
I
horsepower.
can change it to kilowatts if you want.
Would you mind?
Yeah,
Can it
that
show?
does
It can't show both, can it?
No, this one doesn't show
Ah.
both.
I'll do a translation for all you people who are not in the metric system.
256 kilowatts.
That's not bad
yeah. That's
pretty
I think
healthy.
That's actually pretty good.
for a stock motor.
It's a standard engine.
How much boost do you reckon that was?
I think we're about to find out. Let me just change the scale so it doesn't look so horrible. So let's go.
And she went super rich once you got.
Man, it was off the chart rich. Which, look, it's a rotary. If it makes power while rich, good. Don't necessarily have to lean it off.
Yeah, just let it be cool down, right?
You don't always get that. Don't get sucked into trying to do that, if that makes sense. All right, let's have a look at boost and see where it went.
Your graph and your log in here will tell you what was
Yes,
going on with
yes,
manifold pressure,
definitely.
right?
Okay, so it looked like roughly about 12.5 pounds of boost. So
Okay.
zoom into this area.
Also, 12.5 pounds of boost for a turbo that big is a
really
considerable amount of airflow, isn't it?
It is,
like
yeah.
it's not the same as 12 pounds on the factory ones.
most definitely. Let's have a look at fuel mixture. Yeah, so you can see it's even on the Haltech, we're quite rich.
Yep.
So I think the target here is 1050. So what I might do, because we got obviously the O2 control on, and we want the O2 control to do its job, I guess, if you like.
Yep.
I might change the target so that it's...
Can be more aggressive.
so like I'll make the target richer, but then
Yep.
actually take the fuel out of the table so that the O2 control isn't trying to do all the work, if
Okay.
that makes sense.
Sure.
One other thing I like doing as well, I like using this channel here. It helps me see if there's like a big lump in the graph that's making it go rich or something like that.
Yeah.
So like to try and get a smooth table, this kind of helps you see where your bumps and lumps are, if you like.
You want kind of all to converge, don't you? Like to look even.
Correct. Yeah, like it's not always possible, right? But if you do it this way, you get close. So all right, so we got. Wow, she's using some fuel, but then again, it's quite rich. So. So I'm not going to try and lean it off. I'm just going to try and get the targets to meet. So
75% duty cycle.
So we're at 75%.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
we're not. I mean, you wouldn't be adding much more boost anyway before you start running out of fuel system. Do you think
No.
on petrol, which
Yeah.
means also on ethanol, you would run out pretty quick too, right?
If you put this on ethanol, we wouldn't do a full pull.
Really?
We would 100% run out.
Even because I guess those injectors are
They're,
they're large for
yeah, but not for a rotary.
yeah.
Like, just as an example, like we spoke about that car making, say, 750 horsepower. That car has 8 injectors, 2600s. That's how
Eight?
much? 8 2600s. Just
That's crazy.
remember we were talking about fuel economy.
Yeah.
They love fuel.
I think when we spoke about target power, it's like, well, it's never going to make more than 300 kilowatts. It's like, well, that'll do.
Yeah, I concur on that. So, one other thing I might look at is injector staging, because I reckon that might make it drive a little nicer if we make these a little higher. So basically what this does is it just...
It's a crossover?
Yeah, it's the crossover. Now, I want to ask, these are they Indy Blues? What kind of injectors are they up the top?
Nah, they are definitely Bosch's.
Are they
I
like
want
a
to say
skinny or
they're
a fat injector?
Nah, they're a normal looking injector.
Yeah, okay. So I reckon
So I'd say they're
this...
1500s if I had to.
Yeah,
If
okay.
I had to guess.
Alright, so I'll change that over.
I can double check, but I'm
No,
pretty
that's
sure
cool.
that's what they are.
So...
And the secondaries are normally bigger, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
normally,
so-
like if we want to get a really good idle and like really good fuel control down the bottom, we're on like a 550, and then I run
really?
a massive injector up the
Really?
top. Yeah.
Okay. I think we're 1000 and 1500.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, it's very common to do 550 on the bottom, 2600 on the top.
Oh, okay.
You couldn't do it with the older ECUs like Apexi and stuff like that, but with this, it's easy.
You heard it here. If you got this car, use that injector.
All right, so,
As a bonus, I think Subaru 550s will fit and they cost nothing.
all right. So I've just changed the way the injectors
Stage.
stage. So, and that usually can change your resulting fuel mixture if you like.
Yeah. So is
what
that
I'm
the
gonna-
phasing thing that we talk about?
Say again?
Is that the phasing
Yeah,
that
it
we
is
talk
the
about?
phasing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the target so that it doesn't jump up and become all of a sudden a whole heap leaner.
Yep.
So because we want to keep it rich, we want to look after the engine as much as we can. So in the effort of doing that, so I think
We're talking like 10.0.
yeah. So 10.0, like
Targeting
10.0 is
10.0.
very cushiony. Like if an engine blows up at 10.0, you had no chance anyways.
Got it.
All right, so let's do that. It could also go really rich now because I've changed the target, but at least we just got to take a step in the right direction. And see
So
where we
pull
go.
number 2.
Pull number
Let's go. Need these. She loud.
It is loud. Funny,
That is sick. 260 kilowatts.
Yeah.
Dude, that's moving.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Because these are not heavy car. Like these are not that heavy or
No,
anything.
no,
That's
these are
good
like-
power to weight.
I think like 1,300 kilos, maybe a bit
Not
less
bad.
even. All right, so let's
Not
see
bad.
what that looked like.
Approximately 350 horsepower.
Yeah, man.
Not bad for a stock FD with a single turbo.
It honestly, yeah.
It does take a little while to come on. Like, let's be real.
Look, I am
But you've
starting
got-
the runs really early. I probably shouldn't start it that early.
Yeah.
Like I'm starting the runs at like 2,000. I'll probably bump that up.
The difference is though, on a normal car where you redline at 6,800, we're still
Yeah.
revving forever.
Yeah,
so you
but
get
this,
to
like,
enjoy
this
it for
just
longer.
revs, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you get to enjoy it.
Like I think I took that to what 7,300, and like the power's flat. Like
Loves it.
it'll keep going if you keep your foot in it.
Yeah.
So-
Just don't need to because there's nothing more for you to
Nah,
see,
that's
right?
it. That's it. Just on to the next gear. Just bump up the start speed, so don't need to work it in that area if you like.
Now let's
And
check
our
this.
coolant temp is staying pretty stable.
Yeah, so
Cool.
I-
With a dyno fan, that's a good thing.
yeah. So like, I don't think temps got over like probably low 90s on that. Let's just have a cool.
Yeah, they're flat
80,
as.
86
Okay,
degrees.
good. That's what we want to
So
see.
yeah, we're good in that respect. Boost is still the same, 12 pounds of boost. It got leaner in the middle. So now we can just like tidy up the fuel curve a little bit.
Great.
But like as you can see, we're on target here now. We just got a bit more work to do here, and then we're kind of in the ballpark, I reckon. So what I also tend to find is I try to look to see if the fuel mixture suddenly changes when the injectors are fully phased.
Yep.
And if it does, then it tells you that your injector data needs some tweaking. So something curious about this, you'll see that we're on target here. Secondaries start to come on, and
Yes.
it kind of gets a bit leaner. And then as the secondaries cross over 40%, it suddenly gets richer.
Okay.
When I see that, that tells me that the injector data needs a bit of tweaking.
Oh, okay, so it's
Yeah.
not quite right. You want
Yeah.
to see a cleaner transition?
Correct. Yes. So usually when I see that, I'll put a bit more dead time in it and increase the flow.
Got it.
Which should bring up that line. So
Yeah,
we'll make those changes, and
All
I
the
reckon we're pretty close though. Otherwise,
All the tweaks that make it way better on the road.
most definitely, and it makes it repeatable, because that's the thing. It's all about trying to be repeatable. Because like as someone who's driving a car, you only notice it when it really goes bad.
Yeah.
So it's all about trying to make it do the same thing as much as possible over and over and
So
over.
you can enjoy it.
Most definitely. So I always take small steps with this stuff. So this is just me raising the dead time a little bit. And all that is to try and...
Open them long. No, delay shorter before they open. I'm trying to remember what dead time is.
basically, like when the injector's first opening, because we're saying that it has a higher dead time, it actually adds a little bit more fuel to compensate for that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's more depth than that, but it's the simple explanation,
Yeah.
if you like. So I've changed that roughly, I think that works out to be, roughly 10%. Okay, so what we got to make sure is that I don't go too far off the target, because
Yeah.
then that's going to now probably switch sides, if that
Right.
makes sense. So I always want to make sure we're over target. And again, I'm just going to go back to my short-term trims, because I did play with them before.
Yep.
Just want to make sure that it can add fuel
Yes,
if
I
it
see.
needs to, which it can.
So nothing down low, only up top.
Correct. So at this point in time, and again, whenever you're using O2 short trims, always just check them when you're looking at the block. Make sure that you made decisions that also factor in the trim.
Yeah.
So as you can see here, it's pulling out 5% this
Right.
whole time.
Yeah.
Right. So we have to keep that in mind when we're doing that as well. So with that in mind, I think we're good. I'm just going to do another pull,
Great.
see where it goes, and hopefully we might be close enough to be done, maybe. All right, let's go.
Number 3. Earmuffs on.
Yeah.
Looked a little more keen down low too, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a little happier to get up.
Yeah. So something I should also point out, and this is really, really good. So you can see the O2 trim is now pulling out a lot less. So we got down to 3%. And you can see we're pretty much on target for most places. We're a little bit up the top.
Yeah.
And I don't usually chase this area, by the way. I've found, especially on older engines, when you chase this, they like to blow up.
Just leave them.
I don't chase this area at all. Sometimes I'll chase this depending on how much it fluctuates.
But that's a pretty smooth ramp.
It is.
Like-
You can see the engine's happy. It's not struggling to
Yes.
do anything, any part of the run.
And the big turbo's letting it breathe.
100%. So I'm much more happier with those O2 trims. I feel like they make more sense.
Yep.
And if you think about it, all the changes we've made, I haven't actually changed anything in the base table, right? The fuel table is still the same.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to get those little things in order. I'll probably do a quick check on oil pressure. Obviously, you've got the safeties on, right?
Yeah.
So if there was something wrong, it should have cut me off, but I might as well have a look, see if there's anything that's worth noting, if you like. I would say there probably won't be, but we'll have a look anyways.
Yeah.
No, fantastic.
It's just good.
102
Maintaining.
PSI.
That's a lot of oil pressure. It's
It
just
is,
happy.
yeah. These make a lot of oil pressure.
Right.
Mazda did really good with the oiling system on these. Like a 1300 horsepower engine will have the same oiling system. That's how good it is.
Wow.
All right, so the other thing I'll check is fuel pressure. Now I check something called injector pressure differential. It's like the base pressure, if you like.
Yeah.
And as you can see,
It's very static.
That's perfect. That's what you want to see in a fuel pressure curve. You don't want to see it like falling over.
Basically 46 PSI the whole time.
Yeah.
So that's taking into account the boost coming in.
That's
And
correct.
it's maintaining
Yeah.
it, right?
So
that means the reg's working properly.
Correct. So even Haltech have another 2 channels that, like if you like to think about it that way,
Yeah.
you can also do it that way. So they have fuel pressure and then a fuel pressure expected channel.
Yep.
And you lay them on top of each other and you make sure that they
Great.
follow and there's no deviation. And as you can see, as it comes on boost, it comes up and then it just holds nice and flat.
Perfect.
But honestly, like that's pretty, we're pretty good.
Good on you, man.
So
That's
I'm
amazing.
pretty
That's a
happy
great
with that.
result. And it idles nice.
It does.
Seems to
and
pick up nicely.
always comes back to an idle.
Yeah.
So I noticed before when you like creeped on the throttle, sometimes it would be a bit ratty. So let's see if we, no, just come straight up. Yeah. I think I'm happy, dude.
Good on you, man.
think
Thank
I'm
you
happy.
so much, Omar.
No.
You're such a legend, man.
Awesome, man.
Always a great learning experience to be in the dyno, especially people who are experts in their field, rotaries, all this sort of stuff.
No, it's awesome, man.
Great to learn. I'm genuinely excited to drive it because this one, since the day we picked it up, has always just kind of fought me. You know, like I never drove it and then something broke.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm on a racetrack. Secondary not working.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we dyno again. I'm like, man, there's something up.
Yeah.
And today, fingers crossed, is the last time that ever happens. I get to enjoy my 264 kilowatts.
That's it.
In my mad rotary that I barely fit in.
I concur with that. All right, awesome.
Thanks, man.
Easy done.
Good on ya.
Let's wrap it.
Yes! Oh, how good is it? That is freaking awesome. Oh my God. There's a dude in a Honda Accord doing key bangers. His old Carby Accord literally shooting flames. That's hilarious. This has been years in the making. Getting this car to the point where it will work, it'll make power reliably, and just enjoying the rotary goodness. The revvy, rotary, smooth goodness. With 265 kilowatts under your foot. Yeah, that is freaking epic. So happy. We first got this in Japan, it drove real nice, but something wasn't right. You just got to tell that it wasn't quite where it needed to be. Got it home, got it on the dyno, saw it was down on power, then with a bunch of mods, got it to the point where it would actually make some power. But I guess you also do learn a lot during this process. I mean, I never worked on a rotary before. My fabrication skills are getting there, but it's still something that you got to do all day, every day to get really, really good at. I can make stuff, I can stick stuff together, but it still sometimes fails. And the smoke machine today was a great way to prove that. So when I took this to the dyno at Haltech a while back, obviously it was okay, it made power, but those leaks and those small problems were obviously holding it back and stopping it from just feeling really nice on the road. And now, having tidied up all the bottom bits of that map, all the low throttle input stuff is where it really shines. And right now on the highway, drop it back a gear, feels amazing. It comes on, it's just smooth, just wants to go. The technology that's in this engine, man, it is old. And some of the guys that are rocking some of the fastest cars in the country with rotaries in them, those cars are from the 60s or the 70s, which is absolutely crazy. This car is like 23 years old or nearabouts. So this was the last of the RX-7s that they ever made. But it's just so smooth. And with all this modern tech and drive-by-wire and Haltechs and some smarts with people like Scotty and Omar on the dyno, I mean, you've got something that's just so smooth. Like, sounds amazing, has all the theatre of a petrol car, but the smoothness of a electric car, really. I mean, nothing else comes close. The power band and the revs and the way it just wants to go. There's really nothing like it. My Mazda ownership journey started with the MX-5. That was the first Mazda that I ever owned. Then that Series 2 RX-7 really did sort of wake me up to what was possible. That had a 12A in it, naturally aspirated. You know, we put EFI on that, made it awesome. Had a few dramas with stuff blowing up, of course, as you often do. It hasn't been the smoothest of experiences, but I've still learnt heaps, and I still love the look of these cars. I think Mazda was just onto a winner for so long. And it's a testament to how popular these things were all around the world. I mean, they're in America, Japan, Australia, Europe, they were everywhere. Let's hear it. That's amazing. Just listen to it. Just loves it. roll on in third gear. Wow. Pretty cool. Very, very happy with how this thing just turned out. What an absolutely epic car this is. Through a combination of a lot of hard work and a good helping of luck, I've been able to experience and own a bunch of cool cars. This stands out as one of the coolest looking ever made. And there really is something special about it. And the missing piece of the puzzle was getting that power, making it reliable, and being able to do this. Ugh. I've never driven anything like it. Is it the fastest car I've owned? Nah. But it is just so unique, and I think that is the reason everyone should own a rotary at least once in their life. We also just hit 80,000 Ks, interestingly, literally on the dot. 80,001. Welcome to the 8s, mate. So finally my FD RX-7 works better than it came out of the factory. It just wants to go, it sings, it comes on boost, it makes power all the way to that massive red line. It feels amazing on the road. And aside from not really fitting in it, I can't think of a cooler sports car than this.